Hi, this is Mia. Get Real. I gotta type this phone call treatment plan up. Um, my office, I'm expecting a delivery, and it's 1:20. I'm expecting it to come at some logins maybe disabled. Welcome back to school. Like, oh, technical difficulties. This girl, they asked me when I drove up yesterday to help this girl with her homework, and then she didn't want my help, so I got my kid, and and they were like spending hours or hour trying to figure out how to get into this website with this access code and this account number and this password and this and this and this. It didn't work on the one computer, and they went to the house. They said it worked on that computer, it worked on the school computer, and then finally, like after an hour, it was like a 6-minute video. I was like, "Are you kidding? Like, homework's so funny." I was like, "Dude, everything you guys I would have done, you guys already tried, except for using a computer they had already had it work on." My daughter's like, "Why did you tell me that in the first place?" So I was like, "You guys have this newfangled stuff." When I was a kid, you just had a bunch of books in your bag, paper, open up the book, write down a question, do the math problems, read the novels, write the book report, and you turn it in paper. Um, I used to type. I was a geek. Since a little age, I typed on a typewriter. I threw it in the dumpster out here once. I kind of wish I had it. I'm kind of kicking myself for that one. Kind of kicking myself for a lot of that ones, but it is what it is, right? I have a lot of work to do, and it is 1:20, and I do have the blind shut because the manager's supposed to come on Fridays, and I don't want to deal with peeking out the window. Oh my gosh, she said, "The blinds are crooked." Oh my god, she can see my house. Didn't make my bed yet. Like, I'm all like paranoid. But I gotta go to the office soon, and I got a bunch of stuff to fax. I went to look for this date and time I wrote down. Maybe I didn't write it down. I wrote it down for someone else at a house call, so I write it, and I don't have a printer and my computer. So I tried to do some funding stuff to help me get portable, get a type of electronic health record compatible device that I could take with me out in the field and have the access of either hotspot and or 4G network connected to it and or, well, especially you want Wi-Fi, but you're not always going to have Wi-Fi. You're not always going to have someone with a password. And you go sometimes people don't always have. I'm looking at the time, like I had to call somebody. I think speaking of what, people don't always pay their bill. Their internet goes off or their device disables, whatever. Somebody was having people hack they gave some people their password and people were hacking their account. So there's like, they could not use their internet because it was sucking all of the power out of it. I had the long video this morning, and I was going to title it like Miracle of Life. And continuing to dwell on the past and wanting to be confident and being like, oh, well, I'm thinking of it. I feel guilty. Like, when I was a kid, I told you, when I was a kid, if I had a cold and sneeze and cough, I would get in trouble, get beaten because I had caught a cold, and we said it because that was my fault, not somehow got exposed to this virus and it affected me. I would be beaten. I'd be beaten for no reason, but I'd be beaten. And my dad and brother were not in the house when this stuff happened. So it was really, yeah, the person who did it is dead. My mom. There's no, like, witness except for myself. And the way the family is, they wouldn't have cared. they witnessed it either, but it might not have been so frequent. I don't know. Usually it was that secret when they're gone, they're beaten. My mom and brother got along like this, so they would continue the whole time to make fun of me, and my mom and dad would gang up on me, and then my mom would get mad because if she said something rude to me, sometimes my dad would go after her, and I didn't realize that, like, you're like 2 or 3, and so she's blaming me for all the problems, and you're like 2, 3, 4 years old, and you're like, fine, kids get sleep aids stuck in my thumb, and you had a blankie, you're just like, someone told me to brush my teeth, I could just fall asleep right here. I like literally have these blankets and I like laying on the floor and fall asleep. I was like a toddler, I was like not plotting and planning. Part of the narcissistic scheme of the whole household. I wasn't. I might have actually picked up on it. To tell you the truth, I might have actually mimicked behavior. Just like I speak the English. I might have mimicked the behavior. Of her in that chaos, but it's something that I go overboard to try to avoid being like, that I'm hard on myself, because I'm like, oh my god, I'm telling you that I'm still dwelling on something that started happening almost 41 years ago, basically, soon after conception. It started before conception, when I think about history. I'm not gonna fall asleep anywhere. I thought I could fall asleep right now. I'm like, it's like so dark. I am. Let me check the weather. It's like, I have this like fan blowing, this other fan. I feel like, dude, my electric bill is not going to be pretty. I should probably shut this stuff. Well, I feel like making the house much. Spoiler alert. I watched Pinocchio and he goes. I must fall asleep when he got swallowed by a whale. I don't know. And I was like in my mind, like, oh wow, like, this dude like is dealing with being stuck, and it's like you're within a life. So it's like you have the house with the fans on and all this air circulating. And when you come door shut, and you're like, have this like it's like not alive if that was like fake wood, but laminate, but you have like this inanimate house, non-living, plaster, rock, old wood, what else? Carpet, plastic, and it's kind of like alive, like electricity and telephone line. Just one thing, maybe that helped me motivate to clean, that I liked was the infrastructure of the house. It's made very quickly, rapidly. You could tell that it was just thrown together really quickly. That there's some sort of bidding war where they might not have chosen the most experienced people, but contractors, but the cheapest. And in a lot of housing programs, there's been some really shady stuff that they finally got caught and had to repair. As people say, oh, we got this good inspector, he's not going to turn us in. And then you get some sub or something happens, or train someone or supervisor, and then they're like, okay, fine, you're made of shoddy. Like, I watched the New York City Housing Authority and the black mold and the neighbor's upstairs refrigerator leaking, and haven't had like 3-4 years of a maintenance request that never got. I've turned maintenance requests and never had it done, but it wasn't that extreme as black mold, and you feel like just replace the freaking refrigerator. Like, ASAP, like the day they say, like, we don't have funding, it's like, that whole guy's apartment's gonna fall too. Everything is already ruined by mold in the wall, so I think about that. And you get sick from this conditions, or and Catholic electricity doesn't work in my kitchen right now, but I told the maintenance that I didn't fill the form yet, and they were supposed to help me as my blinds were falling off. These blinds, they gave me these crappy replacement blinds, and they've been breaking since day one. I just, well, I'll take my old blinds, they're nice and clean. Those don't look like they had like dead bugs and all this stuff, food and junk on them. Ties broke off, they don't fit right. I don't know, it's stupid. They're like, your blinds are crooked. I'm like, they're crooked because, A, these ones, they got broken. I had to fix most of the blinds in houses. These guys did remodel, they just tore them up, threw them on the ground. And the blinds get all, the strings get all twisted up and junk. And some of them wouldn't open anymore. The twisty things disappeared or broke off. The vertical blinds broke off. Like, I called and reported it. These guys tore up my house. I need to get it fixed. They ignored it, and they got a new manager and says, now you're going to get written up and fined because your blinds are messed up. And I said, I turned in a maintenance request after remodel. They're like, we don't care. That was a different company. I just do not like, if you're trying to be proactive. It's ridiculous. So we gotta, check the Florida situation. There's not much going on. It's Friday. Except for the traffic is overcrowded. It's the same news. Yeah, there's not much gonna happen. I mean, realistically, it's like, ooh, what's gonna happen? But what I hope happens is like this storm fizzles out and goes whoop, out to sea. Like, see ya. Well, Bermuda's out there, though. I'm sure there's people out there. I told you I used to watch a lot of the Jim Cat channel. He had a very short video about prepping. All these comments were saying, oh, what's preppers gonna do? Texas, now their food is all wet. They can't eat their MREs. Those come in like waterproof pouches. Like the ones that I have are like brown waterproof pouches and like canned goods and stuff you have in containers. Like if you're having rapid flooding or heavy rain, or they're saying get out, or like here they'd be like, we're getting 3 inches of rain. I get like a lot hydroplane. Because the street home from my work, my weekend job, and my office, you get a couple inches of rain in a couple hours, and the whole street is completely flooded. Like, it's pretty bad. It's like you don't want to. Like, you can drive in the middle and get a little less water, but it just pools. And oftentimes it takes a long time to go through Hillsdale, but oftentimes I just go through Hillsdale and wrap all the way around, because then you're going up in elevation. And that doesn't really matter if there's potential for flooding. With this one, that hill that goes up to Hillsdale is down Barber Boulevard, down I-5. And I drove around there for about 5-6 years of commuting, and I didn't think there was a problem. All of a sudden, boom, they pulled all of the trees and had these signs about erosion control. I'm like, that was your erosion control. So I think what happened was there was a problem. So they basically pulled the trees, clear cut it, spray painted it with that green fake grass, and then they built walls and cement and block walls over this to their curves. And so we were going to be humans and cut out roads and cut out stuff and build parking lots and condos. And then when it rains, normal rain, if it's only raining this much and you're in a marshland, then you're going to be having wet, muddy ground. And all the plants are going to be like, those tall plants like sucking all that. And then if you're building up the parking lots and the Walmart and this and that, you might have a drain, you might have not enough drains, but having a couple drains with the incline or whatever is different than having that whole few acres be wetland, which is even different than being grass and a couple trees or bushes and a little bit of grass. So that those wetland plants suck up all the water, and so we have these drains every so often, and water's rushing in, but then they fill up with leaves and coffee cups and junk. So then what? It just, then that couple inches of water and the soggy roots in the wetland over here turns into like 2 feet of water that people are stalling their cars out in, right? It's like, that's what I'm trying to get at. You just go uphill and drive around, and there's no guarantee. And when you get uphill, there's always a higher place. You know, it's not others. Where you're going to have potential for flooding, or you're going to have like out here, I don't even know, it hasn't even rained, has it? Out here, all summer long, the sewers have burst in the ground and gone into the creeks. Probably once every 2 weeks at least, average, so sometimes twice in 1 week, sometimes 3 times in 1 week. And it's really scary because it's like, I've driven near my work, so all around here, over there, behind there, off this road, but closer to downtown. Right before I was going to work, I was like, oh my god, I don't want to drive through raw sewage. So basically the pipes burst and it bubbled up through the holes in the ground, the manhole covers, and then it rushed downhill, and creeks are downhill. But I did one time, I think I had to drive, I don't know if I think it cleared up. I don't know, it happens so many times this summer where you have the sign that says sewer overflow, and they shut down the sidewalks and stuff like that. So you're like driving by, like, oh my god, close the vents. I'm like, I'm not gonna go home and wash my car when I want to. Yuck. It's like, whatever, who knows what else we went over. Let's turn the volume down. I don't know if this is gonna be noise. Let me pause it. So I got some papers to do. I don't want to do it because I'm like really stressed, and I don't want to. I mean, I ordered the stuff, and I guess they could have shipped it. There was a holiday on Monday, and I ordered it Friday, and I was hoping to get it Wednesday or Thursday, but it's not gonna come. So I I was thinking, like, if I have, it's not even a session, if I have like this memories and trauma related to abuse, there's still, like, I could think about what this guy said and say, oh, you're worried about it too much. I haven't developed any way to remove that, those thoughts from my brain. I want to try to shift. Like, I don't want to be like in victim mentality or poor me. So last year I did a lot. I think I really overcompensated by like signing up and giving people rides and helping these people that were really mean to me. And like, I was like, don't worry. Maybe God is putting these people in front of me as a way. Like, I literally wore myself out last summer as a way to like, yeah, forget. But then that's kind of like a workaholism. So instead of somebody doing heroin or drinking all day to forget the worries. It's like then you're jumping this work. It's not even work. You're not even getting paid. Like I couldn't imagine if all of the volunteer stuff I did, I got paid, or all the work that I did for my business. I could never even like. Maybe I should imagine it. Like forget about love stories. Just write that. You went to work today and you got paid. Wow. Something. I should probably have law of attraction please come to me. And I I just feel like I wanted to be honest that I know I remember that I say this, maybe record it 5 times a day, that I'm still feel damaged from these people. And I have had, they talk about this storm surges from Irma coming, and the projected and the waves that they think is going to happen. And it's like, I feel like there's surges where these people bust through my boundaries, the same people. So just because, like this guy, just because it's like your ex-husband, this relative, this person who cussed you out every time you talk to him, this person who never returned your calls, ever, and then call the cops because you didn't return their calls after you blocked them, so you didn't actually get any calls because they're waking you up. Their relatives were waking you up at 6 in the morning, waking your kids up by call, hang out, call, hang out, call, hang out. And you get this, like, surges of them busting through the boundaries or busting through during holidays and stuff like that. And you're like, so it's like these people, when you set the first boundaries, it might be a safety concern. It might be, I don't like the way that you talk to me about this. Let it go. Like, I don't like you calling me fat. Stop. And they'll just find out that's your anger, and then they'll just like put a corkscrew in your arm, just keep twisting until it goes all the way through. Like they use that ha ha ha. Now I know it upsets you. I'm gonna mess with you, and it's not. It's not like, yeah, some guys. I think of first grade, and I think of like 20s, like something irritates you. Worms. Oh, you don't like worms? Ha ha ha! It's a worm. It's like some 6-year-olds with a worm in your face. I'm scared. I was the one with the worms in first grade. Sorry, that's why I used the example. I know. Sorry, please forgive me for whoever I scared with the worms. Yeah, I used to hate worms. I have friends. Okay, what am I supposed to do? I got grasshoppers, worms, wild birds. Um, just being that person who, God, my eyes are all like fogged. This darkness in here is like, I'm gonna have to open blinds. I'm not gonna be able to tolerate this. I was trying to find it. If I wrote something down for somebody, and I was trying to find it in my papers, a copy, and I couldn't, and I had realized that I have a lot of filing and organizing to do, and it kind of freaked me out. So I'm gonna go do that. I gotta clean up everything, including myself, my animals' cages. The kitchen kind of got done, some laundry got done, but I don't remember putting it away, so I think it's still in the dryer. I know it's still in the dryer, I don't remember putting it away, and if it was my work clothes and dark clothes, so that was going to be put away for next week. My friend was, we were keeping in touch, and I had worked, I told you there was a couple friends that I see when I work in their establishment as a vendor, and I had tried to make like kind of friends in real life, like in real life, instead of my imaginary friends. And I like, this is when me and my son, we're trying to take pictures of the moon. So my son's like, that looks so orange. I don't think so. But I think this is the moon, like, we had the fires, and it still like makes it bright. It was like orange, but it was like blood red, very vampire. I don't know why, but my camera was switching to black and white. I don't know what was going on. Or like the UFO. But we were outside in the smoke, and then I ended up getting sick. So I had taken multiple pictures. This one is just, I don't know. So this happens sometimes with my phone. I don't know why. And then it looks like I tried. I don't know if that is, but I think I tried to get the blood red when I picked my daughter up at work. So it might have been on auto night detection. I think that's what it was. So that probably would have been a decent picture. So I typically take 2 pictures of everything because you don't know when you take the picture, you see it, and then you get home, it's not there, and it's like, it could be that one picture of your kids, or that one picture at work you needed, because my boss needs us to take pictures. So, speaking of that, I have pictures of my work. What is today? September? No, sorry, somebody gave me their schedule for September. August. Wait, no, it is September. I'm like so tripping out right now. I'm looking at somebody's August schedule. Okay. So my friend was there yesterday. I didn't even try to go in. So they're not going back. So they'll be there, looks like, when I go there next week. That's going to be nice. Because I had very imaginary friends. I tried to make real people friends. I just, like, I'm pretty, like, neutral. And I realize, like, I have a lot of things going on in my life. So I'm, like, kind of tense. And people are, like, don't like that, right? And since I like stopped, I still look for jobs, but I feel like God told me in the end of July not to keep looking, use the time to do my organizing. I felt like I relaxed a little bit, even though the the finances seem to go down. So I I got a bunch of paperwork to do. I gotta do this. I have to do this. I'm like freaking out about it. Um yeah, so I'm like tense about it. That means that's the problem about staying home is I know how much work has to be done, and when you're out of the house working, if you're out of the house working like 40 hours a week, even if you do sell 60 or 80 hours, you know there's times that you have at home that you have to do laundry, grocery shopping, do this, make dinner for the kids. But when you have too many jobs and you're responsible, and the more you work, the more you earn, but the less you work, the less you earn. It's like there's not a, oh, I have Saturday, Sunday off this week, I'm going to go to a meeting and then go wash the car and then come back home. Like, you don't even have money to do stuff. You're like, no, I'm going to save gas, I'm not going to do anything, and I'm going to eat, like, crawl around the floor and see if I can find crumbs to eat. Actually, I have kale that might be going bad. I'm going to have to get that out ASAP. So, yeah, I have, like, the store day, I have organic bananas. I have a allergic reaction when I eat non-organic bananas. Like, I am like that person. That's that sensitive. Somebody told me that last year that somebody had a big allergic flare up with non-organic bananas. But that the more I was trying to cleanse my body, um, the more reactive I became. So people are like, "Poor you! You can't eat this, and you can't eat cheap, and you can't." Like, if I could eat cheap and eat all that stuff, my income, my low income, wouldn't be as devastating. It'd still be, I mean, I'm still looking at not being able to pay rent, which is like your foundation of having a place to take showers and have a place to park your car so you can get to work the next day. But it's still like, I mean, I guess I'm always saying I'm tired, and my son thinks I don't eat enough and that I should eat what he's eating. And I've had history of anemia and stuff, and I wasn't vegetarian. 2 reasons. Before I wasn't vegetarian because of that anemia, so I was pretty much eating meat once a month around Mincy's. because I was like craving it. So I was eating homemade dehydrated meat, mainly buffalo, with some beef jerky, and I would eat some occasional poultry. And most so-called vegetarian foods, protein foods, or substitute fillers like wheat, bread, corn, even like fake bread, like not fake bread, well, gluten-free bread. All of the ingredients in gluten-free bread I cannot eat. Like I'm intolerant to gluten, but the gluten-free bread I'll have a more severe allergic reaction to. And I found that out the hard way. And I've been around raisin bread. Like if I could go to the store right now and make like some cheap chili with some cheap ground beef, like it's all greasy, put some jalapenos in there, some tomato sauce in there, and grab some raisin bread with butter. Oh my god, that sounds so good right now. Like, oh my god, like it's torture not to be able to eat that. But when you're that sick all your life, you don't want, like, when you're trained to be in abusive relationships, sometimes you still tolerate it, but then you learn, for me, a spiritual thing, to do God's will here on earth. You learn you can't do it if you're sick all the time. And you can't, like, take care of your kids if you're sick all the time. And my body, I tried really hard to detox, and like I tried really hard a few years ago, like major detox, lots of freshly squeezed wheatgrass juice, lots of fasting, and um, lemon with detox teas. Like I was like taking detox supplements. It was like intensely trying to detox, and I thought I would be able to maybe make my health better for when I'm older, so that I could still work and do my medical business and be around for my kids, hopefully, like knock on wood. And then I got in that car accident, and my trying to control the situation as far as being not necessarily self-reliant, but thinking that I am in control of my health, and then getting whacked from behind. I mean, even if I had been driving, I whacked somebody, I ran into a guardrail. Like, that whole eat, put healthy, puts raw juice in the body, get rid of the stuff that's causing inflammation. Try to learn, it took me a while to learn to pray and meditate. And all this stuff was almost like useless, but at the same time, I think my injuries would have been even worse. That's my opinion. They're pretty bad. I used to be an athlete most of my life, especially before the accident, but predominantly before medical school. When you were at school, I was at school 7 days a week. And I was always that weirdo that I got stuck with the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday shifts. You're like, and then you end up having a holiday, like a Monday holiday, so then you're going to make up some Tuesday, Thursday, or do a double shift. Do two Wednesday shifts. There's not 2 Saturday shifts. We have some residents like, oh, my supervisor's going to be gone, and tell everyone who needs makeup shifts come, and we had an extra room. You guys are going to sit and see patients and write reports and help these people with medication management. Like, you're almost like, it's like, oh, you're like in trouble. Like when my mom let me hang out with kids, like, you're going to be in this room studying medicine and going to see patients and helping these other people that have their regulars that are complicated. Like, I ended up with some people that were doing Chinese medicine. I don't know what happened, because I was actually, before that, I had just taken a leave of absence from Chinese medicine, and I had never gone back to it. I don't want to stop the video because I know I have work to do. And I'm about to start crying because my body feels so tired. There's blue-green algae all over this freaking state, dude. That's crazy. I'm that person right now that's like, I'm grateful. Like I said, I was going to make the last video titled Miracle of Life, and hey, me and you, we're breathing right now. By the time I post this video, I might not be breathing anymore. And I could have eaten that nut butter that was overpriced and could have like some kind of bacteria in it, botulism, E. coli. These are for my projected sales this week. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I saw 8 things before Monday morning.